Greetings, salutations, Charles66 here once again with another video. I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone had a great weekend. A few things I want to go over. I had a chance to attend a small local con this weekend. It's pretty decent. It's good. Um, it's one of the bigger ones that they have in the area, and I picked up some stuff. Not too much, anything really. I don't use the word significant because everything I get, there's a reason why I get it. But no high dollar books or anything like that. But some fun stuff. There were no Charltons, unfortunately. I had in my mind certain books I wanted to get, and I'll go over with you why I picked these particular books up. I went in there looking for just casual fun type of comic books. I mean, all comic books are fun, but ones you just can pick up and just have that, I remember that. I remember buying this book, and there were certain issues I have in my collection that I needed to pick up to put back in my collection because I read something in a fanzine, which I'm going to go over in a minute, that kind of motivated me to do that. I know I'm off on a tangent here. I'm sorry, but anyway, onto the books I picked up. One of the things, a big fan of a comic book character. I have his first appearance. It's appeared in Eerie magazine. The character's called Hunter, and without digging out all the different issues that he was in, Eerie 69 had the complete Hunter saga in it, and this was only like $8, something like that. So it's still a nice shape, Eerie, and a great cover with Hunter on it. One of my favorite characters, and nice read to pull out and be able to read it. So it was fun. One of the things I picked up, I have this issue, but for the life of me, I can't find it. I don't know where it's at. I know I have it because I bought the whole run when the book came out in the 90s, and I rebagged and boarded all these books, so they look really nice. But it was Spectre 54. This is a highly underrated, undervalued book. For those who don't know, it's the first appearance of Michael Holt, the new Mr. Terrific. This is his first appearance. Very good comic book, very good issue. I paid $15, I think, for this, which is fine with me because, well, now I'm going to find my copy because I just bought this one and paid $15 for it. So now it's inevitable that I will find my missing copy. But I really wanted it. Mr. Terrific, one of my favorite characters in the DC universe, and having this book at my fingertips now was worth the $15. So again, it's Spectre 54. Right there, I'm very happy to be able to find that. And here's one of the books I was talking about. Hulk 300. I'm nowhere near a Hulk fan. I probably have 5 Hulk comic books in my collection, including this Hulk 300. But I remember having it, and I remember the slobber knocker that ensued within these pages. So I wanted to have it again. Just some great stuff. The Hulk just on a rampage, and all the heroes and characters here try to come in, of course, stop the proverbial carnage. But it's such a great book. Pick it up, read it any time you're feeling down, you're feeling low, whatever. I mean, pick up any comic book that'll do it to you. But if you just want to no holds barred fisticuffs and just want to have some action, this is a good book to have. Again, this is only like a $4 book, but I was happy to have it. Another book that I'm missing in my collection, that I remember vividly buying off the stands because I like these villains, and I remember buying it because it was their first appearance, and I thought they were cool. And I can't find my copy, so I found this for $3. Hulk 254. Is it 254? Yeah, 254. First appearance of the UFOs. An evil version of the FF, really. But it's their first appearance, and it's a great issue, fun issue. Again, just no holds barred fight. Great characters, cool powers. First appearance of the UFOs. Again, they're going to be optioned for a Netflix series. No, I'm just kidding, but that's what a lot of people say when they have first appearance of obscure character. Oh, they're going to be optioned for a series. Go buy this book now. No, I don't know about all that, but they're cool characters, and it's a fun issue. Again, I found this for like $1.50, something like that, which is very, very cool. Again, it's Hulk 254, first appearance of the UFOs. Just fun stuff. And I got Thor King Size Annual number 7, which I never remember having this in my issue. I'm an Eternals fan, and it has the Eternals in it. But what attracted me to that was the fact the Eternals are in this, and this is from '78, and it's by Walter Simonson. And I'm wondering, because he was drawing the Metal Men at this time for DC, so I'm wondering if this is the earliest art that we have of Walt Simonson drawing Thor. I don't know. I'm just supposing it's '78 is when this issue came out, and I knew he was doing the Metal Men at that time, or just finished up with the Metal Men. But anyway, it's a cool annual. Again, I read it. It's just fun. The Celestials are in it, of course, with the Eternals. It's just good stuff. And I bought this for a few bucks. It wasn't very expensive. I think it was like $4 or something. I got Thunder Agents number 20. This was the last issue I needed for my beloved Thunder Agents. I've got the whole run. 20 I didn't have only because it's a reprint issue. And it's hard to find it at a fair price. And the white cover is white. It's hard to find the white cover that's, like I said, stays white. So I got this for a pretty good price. Again, it's number 20 of the Thunder Agents. Just tons of reprints. Which is fine, but if you go spend the money and you want to have good shape and you want to pay the money to have reprints and everything look good, to have a complete collection of the Thunder Agents. So here we go, number 20. From JC Comics, these are called Thunder Agents Classics. These are reprints from the original Tower Run, Hall of Fame Thunder Agents, but again, I got them for the new covers, and again, it's cool just to be able to pick these up and read some Thunder Agent adventures without pulling out the original stuff. And again, I got the DC Archives too, which is fun as well. They did the whole run. And this one, number 3 of the Thunder Agents, the JC Comics Hall of Fame, has an awesome Bob Layton cover, which I've never seen before, and big fan of Bob Layton, and that was a shock to me. Not a shock, but I was thrilled to see a Bob Layton cover with Dynamo throwing down. Love the Wally Wood technology. And Bob Layton was an apprentice of Wally Wood close to the end of Wally Wood's life. And I paid, I think, $10 for this, which was a little bit more than I wanted to pay, but it's the last issue of ROM, and it's really nice shape, and I really needed it for the collection. So I think it was 10 or 15, I can't remember what it was, but it was a nice copy to have. Last issue of ROM. Also picked up the trade paperback of Iron Man 2020. Walt Simonson, Bob Wachek, and William Rosado. It's a trade paperback. Came out in '93, I think. But I just rather have this than dig through the Iron Man collection to bring out the Iron Man 2020 stuff. It was only a few dollars, so I said, why not? So I was pretty happy to get that. And the only new book I bought there was Iron Man 2020, the new series that's out. The dealer had it there for cover price, which I bought that. One of the things I talked about in my last video was the comic reader. I went over some of the issues of the comic reader, and I love the stuff that's in the comic reader. And as I was reading it, I come across a few things which I thought kind of hits the nail on the proverbial head on certain things while we collect comic books. I'm going to read a couple things in here. So believe me, if you get bored with this, you can turn off any times. But it does resonate with most of us, I'm sure, who collect and who read and collect older comics for whatever reason. And I think this kind of puts it in a nutshell. This letter is from Stephen Scott Bo Smith. I think it's the same Bo Smith, who wrote for Eclipse and wrote some other comic books. I never see his name with that many names in it, but I'm sure it's pretty Bo Smith. I'm sure it's the same Bo Smith, but I could be wrong. But in the letter, he's talking about, you know, why we collect comic books. Is it a does it have do comic books um, have any retaining value other than as an investment? Again, we talk about this and talk about speculation, the investment, and everything else. But he puts it in a nutshell. Like I said, for us who collect and read older comics and newer comic books, if we really truly treat it as a hobby and not as a collectible, yeah, to me, there's a difference with that. They're not synonymous. Um, a collectible is something. Comic books are a collectible. Don't get me wrong, but I think that some people put that over the top of the readability and have them as a collection. If you know what I'm saying. But anyway, so answer to the question: do comics have any retaining value other than as an investment? He goes to say yes. Comic books are a time capsule of emotion of a certain time in a person's life that can bring back wonderful memories with each turn of the page. You can't say it any better than that. That's exactly what it boils down to. He said it. I know it's in all of our minds and all of our hearts, but he put it to words, and it's awesome. I just had to share that with you guys. Another thing I thought's really cool in here was was there's a column in here by Sam Kuava, if I'm saying his name right, Kujava, which he has a column in the comic book reader, the comic reader called A Comic Reader, where he reads comics and talks about them. And again, it's a time capsule of that time period. But what I think is really cool, what he said, which people treat as dollar comic books now, which is Jack Kirby's Captain Victory. To me, it's a great comic book. I love every issue. I have them all. I bought them off the stands when they came out. I love Captain Victory. But he goes on to talk about many months back, I withheld comment to this new series because I wanted to see how it would develop. I was never objectively, I exclaimed that all is fine in Kirby world. Some argue that Jack's peaked with the Fourth World Trilogy at DC, or that his prime period was with Stan Lee at Marvel Comics. Who cares? In large in caps. King Kirby is a giant monster talent. His style of work is synonymous with comic book art, bombastic, explosive, and colorful. To see him productive and prolific in the medium he helped to shape is gratifying. To see the creative output on the original, compare that to the weak copycat work done at a company where he's no longer welcome, is satisfying to him as well as me, I'm sure. Captain Victory may not be your favorite Kirby creation of a lineup of scores of titles and hundreds of characters, but anything Kirby does is worthy of your attention and more vital entertaining to the sad imitations and bad spin-offs. Bravo to Jack and to Pacific Comics for giving him and now Steve Ditko free reign, which I thought was awesome. It's great to hear a fan of Kirby, particularly in the 80s, talk about Jack in that light. That's really, really great. And last but not least, does anyone have this in their collection? This Nexus number 3, the first Flexi comic. Now comics with sound. I don't remember seeing this on the stands. I don't know if it ever came out. I don't know if you had to send away for it. It doesn't say anything about here. It just says Capital Comics is proud to present the conclusion of Nexus Origin Saga by Mike Bair and Steve Rude as the first Flexi comic. This 40-page magazine accompanied a complete stereo soundtrack with special effects, background music, and dynamic dialogue. Available at your direct comic shops elsewhere for only $2.95, or you can order from Capital. So I'm just wondering again, Nexus 3, the Flexi comic. If anyone has it in their collection, please, I would love to see a video. Put in the comments, obviously, but it'd be great to see a video of that comic book with the sound and everything else. Would think be really, really cool if someone would take that out of their collection and actually play it. I'm sure someone out there has done it and will do that. So I know I've rambled on. Oh, it's only 15 minutes. Great. I know I kind of rambled on than what I usually do. Had a lot of coffee and back into boarding some comics, and so I'm in a comic mood to discuss things comics as I always am. That's why we're on here, right? So we can discuss comics in the virtual world or the I don't know, it's virtual world or the exact world of YouTube. But hope everyone enjoyed what I had to say and leave things in the comments. And I'll talk to you guys later. And thanks for viewing and subscribing.